I'm so curious if this will work. I'm so curious if this will work. So I'm not seeing a preview yet. It's only showing that it's actually live. I'm using the new YouTube Studio. I was just explaining it, but because I didn't push the start button, which is new, I guess I've not been streaming for a couple of minutes. Right, so I have to use the new YouTube Studio because the old one, I think it's available for a couple of weeks maybe, but we have to get to the new one, and it's ridiculously chaotic. They say this has been developed with the help of the community, but I have my doubts. Anyway, I think it works. There are some options here which are ridiculous. They should be enabled by default, but they're not. And in the past, when you got to YouTube Studio for streaming, you could just enter all the things like the streaming title and the description. And now I can only enter the streaming title. I cannot do any description, by the way, which is odd. Like stuff, viewer stuff, status of the stream, but I cannot enter any. I cannot enter any description here. Why not? Oh, I can enter a description, but I only have one line. Oh man, this is just insane. Why? Let me check if the video is actually working on my channel here. Yeah, it is. Wow. Okay, there are a couple of people watching already, but I cannot see anything here. So, okay, I can hear myself twice now. Right. Hey, Peter. Hey, Mark. So the new YouTube Studio is just such a mess. Okay, I can see a chat on my right, and I can see. Oh, well, I can show you what I'm seeing here. Screen capture. Right. I don't think there's any stuff that you're not allowed to see here. So this is what I'm seeing. And there's no way of easily changing the title. So I can click on the title, I can click change, but there's no field here to enter a description. So I have no idea how to add things like links or so, which I want to, because I have a link here. I want to add the link to this YouTube video. Oh, sorry, the name of the author. But I have no idea how. So let's check it out, guys. Live YouTube Studio stuff. Okay, music by, and the title of the track is Screen Tracker Player. Right. Save. I have absolutely no idea how this will show up in the actual description on YouTube. So I really wonder how this will look like. I'm going to check it myself. I'm going to press F5 here. All right, and okay, there is a description. Okay, but it's only, I can only enter one line in the description. What the heck did Google think of? I have absolutely no idea how they came to developing something like this. Anyway, I'm going to mute the microphone in a minute because I'm going to focus on the work here, and I have some audio from somewhere else on my phone coming in, which I'm listening to. So unfortunately, I can only chat with you and not use the microphone this time. But I think putting on some music, let's put on the music, is quite nice. I hope you can hear it. Yeah, it's loud enough, I think. I'll put it a bit louder when I mute the mic. So let's get over to the work desk here, and let's get it going. Oh, by the way, these are trays for these very. Let me put my amplifier a bit down for these parts here, and I need to transfer a couple because I got some new ones today. So I will do that first. It will look ridiculous, but I think you'll like what you're seeing there. So I'm going to mute the mic, and if you have anything to ask, please do in the chat. I will keep an eye on the chat, and That way we can communicate. So, speak to you later. Yeah, right. So 5 more done, and I would have made more, 10 or 15 maybe, because I have plenty of orders. But the problem is that it's very hard to obtain Raspberry Pis by one, and there's no way of buying them from a local reseller more than one at a time. These Raspberry Pi Zeros. That's because those are the regulations of from the Raspberry Pi organization. I tried. I tried to obtain them more than one at a time, but that's not possible at local resellers. But it is possible at RaspberryPi.org. But the lead time at the moment is 12 weeks. So if I would have ordered them at RaspberryPi.org, I still would have to wait. So I'm continuing ordering them one by one, which is not as cheap as you can do yourself, of course, because I have to add fat and other stuff and spend some time on soldering the connector to it. But it's the only way of offering a complete set. That's the reason I'm doing it, and it's actually cheaper for me to buy the Raspberry Pis one by one at local resellers. So Kiwi, for example, here in the Netherlands, and some shops like the Payot or Paimanori in the UK. I order them there and at some other shops as well, if they're in stock. But I think 3 of the 4 shops that I order them are don't have them in stock at the moment. So it's crazy. Yeah, I have to order the program, the CPLD, indeed, Rysart. You're completely right. But I have to do it at the other side of the attic. And you can see there's a stack of boxes there waiting for stuff like ZKSDs and other stuff to complete those boxes. So those are the bigger orders from, for example, Mark, who's in the chat, Mark White. I think there's a box from him as well there. I have to complete them, and the main stuff the boxes are waiting for are these XHDs, Pro ones mainly. I think I have to make at least 30 tomorrow. So we'll make 50 boards with the pick and place machine, and then finish 25 or 30 tomorrow during the day. I hope to live stream that as well. And rainbow LED cases, lots of orders are waiting for those. 6 actually, which is quite a lot of rainbow LED cases because I make them by hand as well. And then some stereo kits, some ZXAYs, some +3 power supplies, and some other stuff I have to finish. And it's not that I cannot do it, but the problem is that I get more orders in than I can handle at the moment. So I did add a note to the web shop, zspectrum.shop, so people can see that if they order something that it will take some more time than usual. And it's not, the strange thing is, it's not caused directly by the COVID-19 situation, but it's, I hear some airplanes outside, it's an indirect side effect of the situation that many people are at home, they have time on their hands. I'm not sure how, because I still have to work. I guess you too. I don't, but of course you cannot get out much at the moment. So that is probably the reason that people are stuck at home and they want to do something. So they spend a whole lot of time and money on online shops. Of course, I'm not the only one. Shops like Amazon, bol.com here in Holland, or what else do we have? Some well-known shops. Those shops. People order a lot there. I think today the news was again that the online shops tripled their revenue at the moment. And it's the same here at ByteDelight. So we get in about 3 times as much orders than usual, and I already had a backlog. And it's not that bad that I get in 3 times as much orders, but I think I would be happy with about 2 times the amount of orders I got in the past, not 3 times. So that's the main issue at the moment, and I'm dealing with it. I'm just working more and harder, but there are some things that are making it hard. For example, my 2 kids are at home for weeks now already, at the moment they have a school holiday, so they wouldn't be at school at the moment anyway. So, but it's a lot of work keeping them busy, especially if they have to do schoolwork, because there are no teachers guiding them, and so we as parents have to guide them with their homework, schoolwork. I call it schoolwork, not homework, because homework is what you take from school at home, but this is schoolwork they usually do at school, and now we have to guide them with it. And I can't do it myself, not much. I mean, sometimes I jump downstairs if the people are screaming because they cannot figure it out. But mostly my wife is trying to help my kids out, and it's not easy because, oh man, if you hear what the way they're learning nowadays is kind of different. Not when it comes to computers, that's no problem, of course, for me. But when it comes to simple things as um, math and other stuff, they're doing things differently than in the past. And if I spend some time on it, I understand it, so that's not a big issue. But my wife has a lot more trouble uh, catching up with what the way of learning what the kids do nowadays. So that's a lot of work. And maybe you know that my wife and me run ByteDelight together. Uh, Me full time, and she does half a week, so 20 hours, something like that. But it's harder because the kids are at home, and it's harder because she helps them out with their schoolwork. So it's a lot of work. So I get 3 times as many orders, and I have only one person working on that mainly. So she helps me out, of course, a bit. For example, she flashed some DFMC Enjoy SD cards today. So the software has to be copied on those cards, and that's a lot of work. If I have to do this, it would be a waste of time because anyone can do it. So she comes up for that in between things like helping the kids out and cooking dinner and all that stuff. So it's I know I'm not the only one being a part-time teacher at the moment, and my wife as well. But it's the whole situation worldwide, and I'm trying to keep up. And of course, there are some people that are unhappy with waiting too long for orders. Especially Mark. Mark is still in chat, I guess. Not Mark White, but the other Mark, um, who's waiting for his stuff to be returned. I have to fix one computer for him. And oh man, I really find it so hard to prioritize what I should do first, because some people tell me that they're not in a hurry with some stuff, and I unconsciously then prioritize the things that people are complaining about, and that's not good. I should just do the things that came in first. There's a lot of that behind me on those shelves there. So it's everywhere. You're completely right, Peter. I'm just trying to keep up, and I'm not stressing out too much. So I do spend some time on gaming, for example. I like to game. People know that. And also I need to exercise a bit. So sometimes step on my bike. I now have a holder for my phone, so I can put on an app, and I can exactly see how fast I'm going, what route I took, how many kilometers I drove. I like that a lot. Otherwise, I spent 5 or 10 kilometers on the cross trainer. We have one here at home, or I go out with my son doing some soccer for half an hour or something like that. Because he's bored after that, he's a gamer as well. But we need to get out, So I try to keep in balance, but it's kind of hard because I really feel with the people that are complaining because they're waiting for too long, and it's especially the people who buy on eBay, for example, that are having troubles with waiting too long because people expect if you buy something on eBay, it's shipped within 2 or 3 days or something like that, and sometimes you have to wait over a week, and that's quite long. So it's quite hard. If I would prioritize all the requests and orders and repairs and all the stuff in order of sequence, then that would mean that all orders will have to wait for 2 or 3 weeks, and that's a problem. So I try to be efficient. So for example, I will make 30 Pro 1s tomorrow, and I will try to do that in one day. So that will help out a lot of orders, so I can ship them out. You know, that's the way I try to do things. So I try to group them, try to do as much as possible in one day, but it's quite hard. And of course, it's not only production like these HDs, for example. I'll also have to spend time on ordering parts, which takes about a day each month. I have to spend time on bookkeeping, which is about 2 days in a quarter. So I did it during the weekend, which was quite hard, by the way, because our bookkeeper passed away 3 months ago, and we had to find another one, which was quite a lot of work. But we have one now, and he's stressed out as well because he got so many new customers from the old accountant. So it's a lot of work. It's a really chaotic situation that we're in worldwide. I know that. The only good thing I was just thinking about is that if you go outside, or you open a window, or you wake up and you have your window opened, you can hear birds. You don't hear much else. No, not much traffic. You know, no airplanes or something. It's so quiet outside. I really like it. And maybe that's one of the reasons that the weather is better. I don't know. So I really like being outside at the moment, because of this is the same. The sounds you hear now is the same as I when I was young, because there weren't that many cars, and there wasn't so much noise outside, and we got it again now. So but I guess in a couple of months it will be back to normal, you can call it that, and we will be in chaos again with all the noises outside. But anyway. I try to give balance. I'm doing my best. I'm going downstairs now to my kids, and yeah, well, what else can I add to it today? I don't know. Done enough, I think. We'll play another game, and then we'll get down. The kids don't know that I'm going to play a game. Don't tell them. Right. Hey, thank you for watching, guys. Hope to see you another time. I am trying to put something on YouTube every day, but it's not my core business, you know. Although I wish I did that, because if you see that some people with the most stupid videos get millions of views in a day, you know, that's just ridiculous. And I'm doing real work, but I don't expect people, a million people in a day to watch me. So anyway, thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you sometime later. Bye bye.